Hey there, kerbonauts! This is Dauntless Sam in Reach for the Stars, Episode 3. And we are preparing for launch of Full Orbit Reborn with Kerbal Kerbin, Jeb's replacement pilot. Unfortunately, in the previous episode, we lost Jebediah Kerbin in a freak skydiving accident. Unfortunately, Jeb decided to skydive without a parachute from about 300 meters up, and we lost him. All in the name of science, though. So we have the same rocket that we used in the previous episode, but with the correct staging, and hopefully without the pilot error on my part from before. So here we go with Kerbal Kerbin. We're going for a full orbit this time. Nothing stupid happening, right? Right? 3, 2, 1, launch! Here we go. Lots of power from those big boosters. Though they do bring us a little bit off, considering I have that one mystery goo container here that brings us a little off-center and drags the rocket slightly backwards. Oh, we're getting spin already. This is worse than last time. Oh, we just got to keep it steady enough. Though I'm not sure. Just about out of fuel for the solid rocket boosters. Bring up the liquid fuel rocket. Drop those. Continue on. We are just passing 10,000 meters so we can pull over. We're beginning to gain a little bit more surface speed with the liquid rocket. A little bit underpowered compared to the solid rocket boosters. But we are gaining altitude. Now hopefully this time we will make it into an orbit. Though this rocket has already been a little bit more squirrely than the last time I flew it. Which is not making me hopeful for this launch. But we are still going. Nothing's blown up yet. Which is strange in Kerbal Space Program. But we'll see. Looks like it is time to start bringing a little more horizontal speed here. So our apoapsis is climbing quite quickly. And that brings us out of the atmosphere. Now we can turn full over to 90 degrees. Just about out of fuel. And cut. That got us far enough away from that chunk of the rocket, though we're going to run up to our apoapsis a bit. Accelerating up. We are almost out of the atmosphere. Now we're out of the atmosphere. Bring it up just under a minute to apoapsis and I'll start burning again. Here we go. Hopefully this will be enough fuel to get us into orbit and back. The back part is important. Burning away. We'll try some time acceleration here. It always makes a little wary of time acceleration. I break things quite often. Up, and we are in orbit. which is a new occurrence for us. First time for anything. Looks like the rocket is a little underpowered to get to anywhere other than into orbit, though we can get a high orbit probably. Let's just see. Mystery goo in orbit. In space near Kerbin. Not very much science. It's not worth it. Whoops. Recycle the experiment. We'll do an EVA with Jinbull. No skydiving. Seems like we have used that as well. We'll board again. It looks like we're going to have to get over some other land here. And this might provide some more science. EVA report. Here we go, just above the shores. Keep that data. And pop back in the spacecraft. Unfortunately, on this side of Kerbin, it is not very exciting with all the darkness and such. The lack of the Kerbin sun. Now, do we have some more science to bring up? EVA report. It's so dark. Above the highlands. 8 more science. Just racking it up here. What does our mystery goose say? Nope. Seems like we need to get a little bit higher here. We'll warp around to the periaps and bring our orbit up. Though it seems like I have another opportunity for some desert science here. EVA. EVA report. Yep, another 8 science. Jinbull, you're doing a good job here so far. Almost to periaps. We bring our orbit up and hopefully get some more science out of this. Let's see, is this the correct direction? This would be the correct direction. Well, let's bring that periaps up, though I overshot just a bit. Check our fuel reserves here. We got quite a bit to go here. Yeah, we probably could make it out to a moon orbit. And if it was right, we could swing back around to Kerbin. Though we'll get above 1.5 million meters here. And see what that gives us for more science. Warping around the surface of the planet. Up we go. Oh, I probably could have gotten some mountains there with the science. Is this high enough orbit for anything different? High over Kerbin. 10 science. We'll keep that data. And we'll see what Jinbull can come up with here. Why are you letting go? Okay, good. I was a little concerned there that I just lost Jinbull as well. We don't need to lose any more kerbonauts. At least not this early. bring us to Applewaps and see if there's anything else new for us. Observe. Still says 10 science, but I think it's only a little bit less because I've already got that one. Reset. We'll warp around to see if I can get further out. And here we go. We've got quite a bit more propellant left. And this may actually be good for whipping around the moon. Bring the throttle back so we don't get by too quickly. Oh, don't want to bring that in that much. Let's see. That might be a hard periapse to bring down, but I like that moon periapse. Let's see. Kerbal periapse, and I like the close approach to the moon that I had before. Periapse of... Whoa, got a little close there. This is why RCS is handy. That would have fine-tuned that real quick. We'll go with 18,000 meters. That is not bad. Here we go, warping away. Gonna catch this moon here. Just decided to... We're gonna orbit Kerbin. Now we'll just go onto the moon. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Didn't plan for this. This is not the spacecraft for this, but hey. Jinbul is living up to expectations. He's got big shoes to fill. He does have the letters to spell out Jeb in his name, so he's up to the task of at least trying to fill Jeb's shoes. And there we go. There we go. We are in a capture. We're in a trajectory to pass the moon. Well, let's see what the mystery goose says. High over the moon. 30 science. That is much better. We're going to keep that data for now. What about Jinbul, who is very excited to be this far? 24 science, and keep that data. And reboard the ship. We don't need you to go skydiving on the moon. You'd have a slightly better chance there because your EVA pack would slow you down a bit more. But let's warp on around. A little bit quicker than that. It looks to me as though on the map that we're not going to hit any surface features of the moon. Ooh, don't want to bring it in too fast. Bring it in. Does this count as a low orbit yet? Grab, don't float away. Don't get that excited, Jinbul. Board. We are still high over the moon, so it didn't work out for us. Is it 10,000 meters? That is low. I'm not sure, but I hope that we have enough fuel to get back. There we go. That should be close enough without wasting too much fuel. Though probably should bring it down so I have a longer chance to get the science out of it. There we go. 40,000, 30,000, 20,000. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, hold on there. Just above the moon's midlands. Board? Is it this middle canister I haven't used? Yes, it is. Observe the goo. 30 more science for the books. We might as well take our crew report here. Another 15 science. Doing much better now. Just about to reach our periaps. I wonder if this crater here is a biome. I know that one of these large ones is. What's our electric charge like? Oh, we gotta be careful. Okay, is this a new biome for us? Grab, please. East Crater, yes it is science. Keep that data. Oh, Moon Arch. We didn't quite make it down there, but there's a target for later. Now, is this a new biome just outside of here? Doesn't hurt to check. You actually stayed a hold of the spacecraft. That is new. Highlands again. Oh, no. Was it planes that I had in the first place? I am perfectly fine with more science. Now, let's try again at this height. Midlands, that's what it was last time. Board, yep. Anything over here? Yeah, I definitely need to get a map for these. So I'm not just spamming the science. With no science to show for it. High over the moon, which I think I already have. So it looks like we are headed back home. Time warp back into Kerbin orbit. And there we are. And I believe we have enough fuel to get home. We'll warp out to Apoaps. Not that quickly. And bring it home. "57 minutes. Yeah, that is not much orbital speed to kill. Let's keep an eye on this, because that'll bring it down really quick, since it's only 200 meters per second, or just under 300 meters per second of an orbit out here. I could get close to the moon again, but I don't think we need to warp out like that, because we can't even transmit the data back. That would be an interesting orbit. Though, that would have been a little bit quicker to get back. Or maybe not quicker, but a little more efficient to get back at that point. Because it brought me down at even lower periaps. but that would have taken a while to get back. And I think Jinbul is ready to get home, so we can put the science to good use. Under 500,000 meters. Bringing it down to 30,000 meters. We have plenty of fuel left. And just to remember, we do actually have a parachute on this thing. That is a plus. And Jinbul, you don't get to get out of the capsule once we get into the atmosphere, okay? Okay. Because you're just as bad about holding on to the spacecraft as Jeb was. Now, warping back in takes a while whenever you're only going 100 meters per second this far out from Kerbin. Though it looks like we will be landing on the dark side. Might as well use some of this fuel we have. Because I do not want to land on the dark side. Though, it does look like we could have made it back to the Space Center, but if we can get a desert surface sample out of this, that would be great. Do we have the fuel to get this? Probably not, but we'll slow down a lot faster without that fuel weighing us down. And where did I get monopropellant from? The command pod has monopropellant. Huh. That's a new addition from what I remember. We have nothing there. So we can detach that. We can warp in a bit more. Looks like we're slowing down a bit quicker than the empty fuel tank is. Now, will we slow down enough that we don't go into the water? Not a fan of water landings because things like to break. 3 times time acceleration. And we are starting to feel re-entry. We've still got a lot of horizontal velocity here. Does not... we might... Oh. So close to land. So close. Will that get me to stay here? Like, I want to land on the shore, not in the water. Not in the water. Don't break on me. Hey! Good parachute deployment. We'll bring her down quickly to land. Nice soft landing here. And made it. Touchdown. EVA for Jinbul Kerbin, who survived. Keep that tiny bit of science. Plant ourselves a flag. And we need... Why can't I take a surface sample here? Well, we'll see in just a second. Can I take one out? There we go. hop back into the spacecraft and recover the vessel. First relatively successful mission. We went further than we wanted to, but we got a whole 236 science out of it. That'll be a nice jump up. So here we go. We can get more science, or we can start getting into flight controls. And also gives us probes. That would be a good start. Launch clamps would be handy. And those bigger fuel tanks would be as well. Let's see. 90 science, 180 science. I can get them all. Though I don't know what each thing includes. Though I believe the best approach would be unlock a row of science each before I move on to the next one. Mostly because it gets expensive pretty quickly. Though these fuel lines would be handy. Now, before I make rockets like that, I need struts. Struts everywhere. Could start making aircraft, but I think that's for another day. And we definitely want the extra science here. Now, are all of these 90? It looks as though they are. Well, now that we've got all that science and technology unlocked, that seems like a good place to close off for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, please do like the video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And if you think anyone else would like this video, go ahead and share it. This is Dauntless Sam. Thanks for watching.